Temitope Akinrem. I work as a research fellow at the Enterprise Research Center, WBS, so Warwick essentially. And at the ERC, the Enterprise Research Center, we basically look at different sectors. So we do conduct multi-sectoral studies. We're specifically looking at SMEs, looking at growth, productivity, innovation in SMEs, and trying to see how policies can be developed to help these group of firms thrive in this changing times. So like I said, our project actually cuts across manufacturing and the service sectors, and we also look at different themes as well. The project that I've been working on for some time now, I've worked on various projects, but the one that I'll be talking about this afternoon is titled Diffusion of Excellence across UK foundries and the metal forming sectors. So basically the UK metal sector, essentially. This project was born out of the need to look at how the productivity gap in the UK manufacturing industries, how this gap can actually be, can we say, made slimmer as part of the industrial strategy challenge. We focus on these industry sectors for a particular reason, and I will talk about that as I go on. But the objectives of the project basically was to look at the key productivity practices in these industries. I mean, when we're talking about best practices, what the leading edge firms in these industries were doing differently. What were they innovating, the kind of innovation they were conducting, and then looking at how, looking at the extent of adoption of these practices across these industries, and then looking at the barriers to adoption for firms that were not really doing anything, and with the goal of developing strategies for best practice diffusion. Okay, so you would ask why this project and why these industry sectors? Like I said earlier, it's evolved or emerged from the industrial strategy challenge, and it is an ASRC funded project as well. Apart from the fact that we have this productivity challenge in the UK, like speakers before me have said or mentioned, we also have the net zero challenge staring these industries in the face. These are foundation industries, basically. And then when we talk about manufacturing, the manufacturing sector, this is a growing concern for many of the businesses in these industry sectors. Ordinarily, we would say innovation would be the way to go for many of these businesses. But as we know, innovation doesn't come cheap, as well as innovation is sometimes beyond the reach of many businesses, especially for small SMEs, when it comes to having the required resources to actually go all the way to innovate and introduce new technological advances in their processes. So what we would understand, or what we would expect, would be that such businesses would actually go out of their comfort zone. That is, if they cannot innovate in-house, they would probably look outside the firm to look for another partner and then probably collaborate. So we're looking at innovation, collaboration-focused innovation. But what we've observed also is that many businesses, especially SMEs, that actually would derive those benefits from such collaborations are not necessarily engaging in that regard. So we're thinking, what could be the failures in this? What could be the causes, or why are these SMEs not necessarily engaging in collaborations that would actually help solve some of the innovation challenges in the manufacturing sector? So we focused on these two sectors in the manufacturing industry, and the reason for these the metal sectors, the foundry and the metal forming sectors that we've been looking at, would be these industry sectors that SME dominated. You have over 80% of businesses in these sectors are actually SMEs. Also, these are traditional industry sectors. So when I say traditional, you have using the same old processes like we've used like over centuries ago. So not necessarily having to change things in the production process, but we're saying maybe little tweaks here and there could make a difference. Also, these industry sectors actually have, they actually imprint across the UK manufacturing sector, because we have products from these industries actually feed into many other manufacturing sectors as intermediate products or even as finished products. Then the processes are really challenging, plus these industries operate within slim profit margins. So you're thinking, so innovating with all these surrounding challenges, that might be difficult, and plus many of these businesses are SMEs. And then in recent years as well, after the last recession, many of the businesses in these sectors actually did close down. So we're saying how can the remaining ones actually thrive and make forge ahead, plus COVID and all of that. We're thinking the way forward will be for some of these businesses to come together, collaborate, and then actually use that as a medium for developing innovative products and processes. I don't want to talk too much about the research itself, but we did focus on 3 failures, informational market failures, when it came to innovation in these industry sectors. But what we were able to find out was that there is a lack of trust across businesses in these sectors when it came to collaboration. So many businesses would not collaborate, obviously, with competitors. We know that because of market sensitivities, commercial sensitivities and all. But also many weren't even keen to collaborate with research institutes and universities because of a sort of language disconnect, according to them. And we had this over and over again in some of the interviews we conducted and the surveys and then in the interviews. But the interesting part of this, what I want you to take out of this is the place of the social and economic arm of knowledge cannot be eroded when it comes to introducing innovation in any business sector, because ordinarily we do know that the technology can be sourced. Even if you decide to collaborate, you can actually source the technology out there. But if the leadership of some of these businesses the ambition is not there to grow the business, and the leadership is not accommodating to these new advances, and then the right skill not available, even like I think was it Daniel or Colin, I'm not sure now, said with regards to workplace skill and all that, then it's going to be difficult to actually take on this new knowledge if you don't have the internal capability to make use of the knowledge. So I think ordinarily, for me, it's been an eye opener for me, because also I come from an engineering background, but I then did my studies in engineering management. It's been an eye opener for me to sit at both ends of the table, to actually see that it's not necessarily about developing the newest technology in town. It's more or less being able to transfer those technologies, build the bridge that actually allows you to accommodate and take in these new advances, and then integrate these into the processes and processes and leading to product development or process optimization in these industries. So as an early career researcher, it's been an amazing journey, first of all, because it's given me the opportunity to actually speak to businesses, understand that we're actually going towards the same destination, but however, we might be speaking the same language. At the end of the day, businesses want to increase productivity. We are in academia when we want to help them achieve this. Now it's developing that bridge that would help us understand ourselves, and also help us take on board new knowledge, new development that would actually yield meaningful results. That's one. Also, it's been an opportunity also to actually understand that as an early career researcher, I've been able to liaise. Just sitting in one of the roles I took on board was acting as an innovation broker, speaking with businesses, asking them, what do you really want? What do you need? And, and then trying to source for agencies or research institutes or universities that had the technology that would be tailor-made to these industries. And that in itself was a great experience for me, because I was able to actually see that ordinarily sometimes businesses, sorry to say, they want something, but they can't really put that in perspective to say this is exactly what I want, but they do know they need these improvements. So that's where academia comes in to say, okay, maybe this is the way you need to do it, or this is how we need to put it across to them. Just being able to manage that relationship, that was really a good experience for me as well. Also, finally, I would just finish by saying that this has also helped in my career development. I mean, obviously, engaging with businesses, even with agencies, have conferences, the opportunities are endless. I mean, you're able to actually develop new contacts and all of that. I think it's an experience that I can relive over and over again. And I guess with having this platform with various people with diverse knowledge, they can also attest to it that obviously they started somehow like this. So I'm looking at Jill and I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's eventually in some years to come, I might get there, So yeah, it's been a great experience. I hope I have been able to convince someone to get on board the train.
Thanks very much, Temi. Get on board the train. That's exactly what we're looking for.